bitches, every city in my tribe. Look behind. Booty dominate the world, peaches right.
To access healthcare.
So, trauma, right? A lot of people go through trauma, right?
Yeah.
So trauma requires you, if you want something done for it, something happens to you, you have to report it, right?
Well, I mean, isn't that a person's choice?
It is. If you don't report it,
Right.
then if you don't
Right, then you're
report it,
saying they should be denied healthcare.
I mean, if you're not reporting it, you're making that choice, right?
You are, but I don't know why that would influence your access to healthcare.
Access to abort a baby, yes. There should be a reason why you're born a baby or a medical procedure. So if you can't have a baby because you have medical problems or medical issues, then yeah, that baby should
So
be born.
who signs up on that?
Who's what?
Who signs off on that?
Medical center.
I see. So you're saying a woman needs an approval from a doctor,
Yeah.
or she needs to have an
Okay.
investigation
She needs a
into.
case. She needs a case file.
So how is that not controlling women? Where
Okay, so
essentially you are making them powerless
let me give you
to
another.
authority figures. Like that is such an appeal to authority. It's cringe.
Okay, so let me give you another example.
No, I want you to explain your position because that's very.
I am explaining right now. So for the
Okay,
government,
so tell me, how is that not controlling women?
Hold on, let me explain to you.
Okay.
So for the government, a military person that loses both his legs or her legs, she or he has to give evidence that he or she lost their legs in combat. So what's the difference? Tell me where difference comes from.
While it is a traumatic experience, you still can't compare it to sexual assault.
Losing your legs? Come on.
I mean, that's a little bit more evident than sexual assault, correct?
Yes, but guess what? They still have to start a case file.
That's a bad analogy. And again, it doesn't explain to me how that's not controlling women.
Because they do the same thing for everybody else when it comes to medical.
They do not.
So to get medical care from the VA, you have to have proof that you have a military injury.
That's the VA, and the VA comes with specific requirements.
Okay, so why shouldn't
abortion? It's standard medicine.
So why shouldn't abortion come with specific standards? See, you can't argue that.
Because they're making the pregnant person powerless.
Okay,
there is no sensible reason that you are giving for this logic.
So you're making veterans powerless then?
No, how am I making veterans powerless?
Because you're okay with that, right?
Okay with what?
I just told you. They have to prove their case. They have to prove their case to get any kind of medical benefits from it. It's the same difference.
It's not analogous. It's not. Because when I go in to have an STD treatment, I don't have to prove anything.
Well, that's great. But as a vet, you do.
Right. So I'm showing you how your logic is inconsistent. You're trying to give me this analogy by saying vets have to prove A, B, and C. So therefore, pregnant women should have to prove A, B, and C. But I'm saying that in another healthcare instance, if I want treatment for an STD, I don't have to prove A, B, or C.
Okay. Again, so what's the difference between abortions when it comes to medical benefits? Have a reason why you need an abortion than just to have one.
Because it is my bodily autonomy.
Okay, so again, that goes with I have my own body, but I want to go to a doctor and tell them to murder me because I want to die. You can't do that legally, can you?
Depends on what state you're in.
Look, there's many. You can't
I think
just
Oregon has
if you're dying.
Assisted euthanasia.
If you're dying. You can't be completely. I mean, you can't just be completely health free, and
Well, I mean,
doctor.
these types of policies are in Canada. Like Canada does not have any legislation regarding abortion, and
I
they
don't live.
actually have lower abortion rates than the United States.
I don't live
And
in.
Canada even funds them.
I don't live in Canada though. I live in the U.S.
Right, but I'm showing you how your argument doesn't make sense.
That's what you think, but it does make sense.
No, I'm using logic and other examples to back it up, where you're just saying
Okay,
arbitrary things.
you haven't backed it up because you said a
I
woman
have.
should be able to abort a child because she wants to,
Yes,
compared to everything else. See, but what's the reason behind it though? You still haven't given me a reason.
because bodily autonomy is your most basic and fundamental human right. And the baby or the fetus's right to life does not supersede the pregnant person's bodily autonomy.
Again, is that written in law?
Yeah, that is actually part of the section of the Roe versus Wade on how
Okay.
it's a constitutional protection that no pregnant person should have government interference prior to 24 weeks of viability.
Now, what's the current law though?
I just told you
What's the current law right now for
that it
abortions?
is constitutionally protected.
Yeah, but do states just conduct abortions?
Do states? No, medical professionals do.
Do they? No, right? Right
What?
now, can you physically go get an abortion whenever you want to at this point?
It depends what state you're in.
Right.
And it also depends where you are.
So each state has that right, right?
Technically, no,
We're not
but
we're
they
not we're not
are. Sorry?
we're not in a communist country where federal government rules all the states, right? See, I love
That's not what
America because
communism is, but okay. Um,
it's
no,
not
there
a
are states'
social
rights,
state. Right. So
but federal law supersedes state rights.
that's not true either.
That is true.
Nope. That is
Yes, it is.
that is not true
Really?
because
Mm.
you have
So
to
the
look that up
FBI
closely.
does not have more jurisdiction than the state police.
That's a whole different ballgame
Oh,
there.
dude,
That
you're
is
losing your credibility with every sentence.
well, the thing is, I'm a law enforcement officer and I'm a federal officer, so I do know that for a fact.
Oh,
So
so state rights supersede federal rights.
so I cannot go into a state and start doing whatever I want to do. There's more to it than you think.
Right, but just because, like, when Colorado legalized marijuana, they begged the federal government not to interfere because even though the state legalized it, federally it was still illegal.
Right, which it still is. But the federal
Right,
government
so
is
that
not.
is an example of how federal law supersedes state law.
So how? I mean, no, actually, that's a good example that it does. So yeah, you can have a federal law that says you can't smoke it, but the state can choose otherwise, right?
All right,
It's a it's a check and balances. That's what it is.
okay.
That's the kind of government we're in. Oh, I love all these ACABs on here because they have no idea, like whatever. So we're not even talking about police officers, but okay. But what I'm saying is, it's there's a check and balances for a reason. That's what I'm trying to get at. It doesn't. I'm trying to.
Right, but again, like your position is just really problematic. And again is really focused on the subjugation of women and pregnant persons.
But see, that's what my problem with your headline is. You're saying it's subjective because of female. It has nothing to do with female rights.
What
It has nothing to do with female rights or
what does
equality.
what
The
doesn't?
situation.
What
It's about
situation?
it's about the baby's life.
Can you tell me a law that regulates a man's body?
Well, look, first thing you got to ask yourself is, how's a man? What kind of law can you impose on a man to regulate themselves? That's the first question. I mean, if there's
Forced
any, let me know.
vasectomies?
Force what?
Forced vasectomies?
But a woman can get one too, or not vasectomy, but they can get something
Right, but that
implanted
would
in.
solve abortion.
But they shouldn't. I don't think a female should have to do that.
What?
So forced vasectomies makes no sense. It doesn't,
Why?
because it doesn't solve the issue. Woman
It
can still get
does.
pregnant.
If if men have to go through a forced vasectomy, then women won't get pregnant.
But that's not a logical.
And then
That's
they
not.
won't need an abortion.
That's not logical though.
How is that not logical?
So we'll just put birth controls programs and medicine on women too. Then both males and females. What's the difference?
Well, that's my point, is I'm saying that there is no legislation regarding a man's reproductive rights and body. And there is, which you support towards a woman. But yet, when I propose that we just do it to men, somehow you're against that. Like that, it highlights the hypocrisy in your
What
argument.
I'm saying, it's not logical. A woman
How is
can
it not
reproduce.
logical?
A woman can
People just
reproduce.
don't
That's
get pregnant by
understandable.
themselves.
Right. But see, again, this is where people in your mentality believe that because something bad happens to somebody, it's gotta be fixed with blocking everybody else's free movement. So I don't rape women.
No, not at all. You have like a misogynistic viewpoint when it comes
Uh,
to women and
not at
access to abortions.
not at all. Access to abortion is different. You're still killing a life. There should be a reason why you're killing that life. That's my point. I
You have the bodily autonomy
I,
to
again,
deny any being, whether it is an adult or a fetus, the use of your body.
again, I made a choice to have a kid, and I have two kids. I made that choice.
That that is
So,
irrelevant to
so
what we're talking about.
it means a lot because you're saying every male wants to rape females, but that's not true.
I am not saying that whatsoever.
Exactly. So,
What are you
to
talking about? You literally just said that I'm saying men want to sexually assault women, and then I say no, I'm
because
not, and you're like, exactly. Like, come
to
on,
mandate what I'm
are
trying to
you
get
for
at
real, dude? Are you
to
for real?
mandate to
Like,
mandate a vasectomy on every man when not every
yes,
man is
it's
gonna.
as ridiculous as you saying to regulate abortion on women.
It's not,
It is.
because again, I'm not gonna kill a baby if I do have a vasectomy or not. Well, there is a
You
difference.
are preventing the unwanted pregnancy.
Well, I don't agree with preventing unwanted pregnancy because some people want to have kids. So we're not going to
Well,
stop
it
that.
just highlights the hypocrisy in your argument because the UN came out with a study in 2017 that said forced sterilization is equivalent to torture.
Okay.
You agree?
Yeah.
Great. The paragraph right above that says restricting abortion access is equivalent to torture.
So, okay, we'll just leave it at this. I'm not going to argue this about it anymore. But so, well, your point is abortion should be legal no matter what, and a woman should be able to abort no matter what. Is that your end point?
I made the statement
Okay.
I made in
Well,
the beginning. The best
so,
legislation for abortion is a blank piece of paper.
okay, that's your choice, right? So, I would just end it
My
by
choice?
saying,
That is my argument.
well, that's what you want. It's your opinion,
Yeah,
right? So, I'm just going to say where
it
I
is my
see wrong.
educated opinion.
No, that's not your educated opinion.
Oh, it
It's
absolutely is, sweetheart.
because it doesn't make you smarter because you believe the way you think. It doesn't make you dumb.
My opinions and my talking points are based in objectivity and logic, which you haven't argued at all.
No, your mentality goes with the crazy commotion going on nowadays. So what I'm trying to say is
okay.
It is.
You should try. You should. Thank you for the gift. You should try a little better to hide your misogyny.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch. I'm so fucking cute.